Hey stock and options traders, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Karl with a K, and I've been trading stocks and options online since the mid-1990s. If you're here to learn about trading or to figure out if a stock or options course on YouTube is worth the money, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. One of my goals is to change this industry. I want to change the buying criteria when anyone wants to buy a stock or options course on YouTube. If promises are made by a YouTube instructor when selling a course, then I believe they should prove their credibility. And I see only one way to prove credibility, and that is to share P&L. Not only share P&L, but also share the account P&L volatility, which means how much did the account value move up and down? If your account made 20%, for example, but it was down 60% at one point, then the 20% return is not really a good return on risk. Sharing the P&L volatility is important because risk-adjusted returns are the real truth. And that is why I share my P&L and I show my daily moves of my P&L every month. I would not buy a course from a YouTuber that makes promises without sharing their P&L, and I hope you won't either. In this video, I'm going to go over my real P&L for the month of November 2020, and I'm also going to have a special offer later in the video. I'm going to share my real P&L for the month of November 2020 for my two separate accounts. And before I get into the P&L, I want to briefly go over what the market did in November. This will give an idea of what my trading systems had to contend with over the last month. And my question always is, what type of market was November 2020? In my book, I go over the 4 market types for premium selling options traders. That is what my two separate systems are set up to do. They are set up to take advantage of the difference between implied volatility and actual volatility by selling option premium. Now the 4 market types are: number 1, the rising bull; number 2, the sideways market; number 3, the grind down market; and number 4, the crash market. Okay, so what type of market was November? So we can see that we ended the month of October here, and we ended the month of November up about 10.8%. And I guess this is one of the best months in the last 30 years or so. So it was quite a rising bull type market. Now also, if you look at the VIX or the volatility, that's another key factor, because the volatility, of course, determines the price of options. And you can see at this point, at the end of October, the price of options was relatively high. You can see it's all the way up here. And then it made its way all the way down. So there was a lot of volatility contraction in the month of November 2020. Next, I will get into the P&L. First, in my smaller account where I trade the 5-step options trading success program. Okay, here you can see the results of my small account. You can see there was a lot of volatility towards the end of October here, and the volatility was not real accurate. I remember it was $15,002. That was what my account balance was at the end of October. So you can see here, we bounced up pretty good and we just kind of leveled off. You can see there's not a lot of volatility in the actual P&L of this account. So it's a very smooth account, almost like a savings account. But you can see there's not a lot of volatility, a lot of safety here, not big drawdowns. And we ended 15,339 at the end of November. You can see we're at 15,248 today. This number is probably a little more accurate, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So let's do some calculations here. Okay, so 15,248 minus 15,002 equals $246 this month in profit. Divide that by 15,002. You come up with about a 1.6% return in a month. So that's really good. I mean, considering the low volatility and the low risk that this trade entails, 1.6% is a nice, healthy return for the 5-step options trading success program. If you multiply that out, you're looking at a 19% return there. And with that low of volatility, so that's a really good month. This system is proprietary and took me over 3 years to develop as I kept racking my brain trying to replicate what I was doing in my larger portfolio margin account. I wanted to replicate this system in a regular margin account. I backtested over 300 different trade plans until I finally came up with a successful system that I could trade in a smaller account that outperforms the S&P with lower P&L volatility. I make these claims based on the last 10 years of backtested results, along with about 5 months of trading it live. Even though it does not replicate the exact system that I'm using in my larger account, it is as close as you can get. If you're interested in the course, I provided a link in the description below, and for the next 12 people that sign up using the code in the description, I'm offering a $500 discount. As I've stated before, the edge to selling option premium is because implied volatility is higher than actual volatility 83% of the time. Coming out of October, when the volatility was relatively high, into November, when the volatility fell, was most likely a good month for most option premium sellers. The key was to not lose money in October in order to be around to capitalize on November. And most premium sellers lost money in October and were probably hoping to get back to even in November. My small account portfolio using the 5-step options trading success program is built for all 4 market types, including the ability to make a small profit last month during the volatility expansion, and then have the ability to fully capitalize on the month of November when the volatility contracted. The system is designed to make money in any market environment while mitigating drawdowns. And again, you can learn exactly how I trade this account by purchasing the course. And I put a link in the description below. And be sure to be one of the first 12 to get the course for a $500 discount. Now I'm going to go over my larger account. And this account has portfolio margin, allowing me to trade with more leverage in order to take advantage of certain trade structures. Okay, now for my larger account, you can see that we started the November 2nd with $136,098. There was a lot of volatility towards the end of October, kind of pushed the account down a little bit, but it's still, I think last month was down 0.5%, which is really good considering all the volatility. And then you can see that we never broke back down below that 136,000 level. This is kind of the lowest we got, was 137,354. So you can see there's not a lot of volatility here. Not a lot of volatility in the account. And you can see when that volatility contracts, this system is ready to pounce and take full advantage. So we made about $11,800 and about 8.81% return without hardly any P&L volatility, and that is a fantastic month. So you can see this account was very similar to my other account where I basically broke even in October during the volatility expansion, and then in November I was able to fully capitalize on the volatility contraction. These are fantastic risk-adjusted returns. If you want insight on how I trade this larger account with portfolio margin, you can purchase my book, A Portfolio for All Markets, or you can check out the course I took that brought my options trading to another level. And that course is from Ron Bertino called Trading Dominion. And I've left a link in the description below for my book and for my review of Ron Bertino's course, along with a link for the actual course from Ron in the description below.